Okay, you guys, I ate all the shit in Maui last weekend. Like all the shit. I ate and drank and no regrets. I extended my fast the next morning. I just kind of played with naturally trying to balance my food and make good choices. And then I came home and ended up with like ham and bread in bed, but don't get me started on that. But it's still down a pound the next day. And it really got me thinking about like food and fasting and the balance and what happens, I think, naturally as you lose weight, as you start to adjust and adapt who you are, you become this different version of yourself. And then I also realized, oh crap, we have a food fasting and fun call this Thursday that I had scheduled a few weeks ago and forgot about it, just spaced it out. And then I pulled this card that says, I eat with gratitude and intention. And this is one of my EFT tapping cards that I pull in the morning, right? So I pull this out and I go through this tapping. We'll do it later in the episode. So stick around. Now I'll make a short on it too. So if you're driving and listening on Audible, pull over. No, I'm just kidding. Come back and do it later or come over to YouTube and I'll post a short with just the tapping so we can do that together. You just can't make this shit up, right? Like when you set intention, when you create intentionally, and you put that vibration into where all these things start to come at you. And this is like a small example of synchronicities appearing, which I think is so fun. But it really got me thinking about setting the intention of our future selves. Like, who is she when she weighs 155 pounds and not 280 pounds? She's a different person. And I think often we think, oh, I'm going to eat the same thing. I'm going to eat the same. I'm just gonna be different somehow, but it's not what happens, you know? As I lost weight last time, I just gradually started cleaning different things up along the way. And now that I've been there, done that, and then got sick, had the hormonal stuff and all of that going on, and it regained. And now that I'm setting back out to do it again, knowing what bits and pieces I want my future self to look like, and obviously some areas I need to work on. What's going to come up this time? Who am I going to become? So I thought this was fun. I came up with this system called the F.U.E.L system. So we're going to get into that today, and I'm going to help you create your future self, test her, and start getting there. This can be as fast as we change our energy around it. And I was called out by a life coach this week. Sometimes we need people to see stuff we're not seeing. She called out all my negativity around how I talked about my job that was sucking my soul. So I've been doing so much gratitude work around that because I am so grateful for that time. And that goes in with the vibration I'm talking about, like cleaning up my mind around putting positivity into the world. You're going to see more of that from me, but sometimes we need people to tell us the hard stuff. And sometimes we need ourselves to say, hey, let's create a goal here. Let's make something we think we want to move toward. And what do I need to do to become this evolved version of myself? Because I guarantee you, the version of yourself that is 100 pounds less is different than the version of you now. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. I was listening to him this morning about breaking the habit of being you and talking about, you don't need to change on the outside. It's a whole new identity you need to embrace. And this is why identity-based work is so fun. And the faster we can embrace that energy of future us, the faster we collapse that time frame. But it's very uncomfortable, right? It's like when I'm detoxing from all this mold and toxicity in my body, you could do it faster, but it would be so uncomfortable. I'd have rash, like it'd be like really uncomfortable, right? But it's how fast or do you want to rip the Band-Aid off? So today you're going to have some options. You could accelerate this process, take it slowly, and we're going to dive in, see what you guys pick up and what you decide to create for yourself. If you're listening to this live, we're going to do a challenge on this next week. Come in and join us and come friggin' join us anyway. It's going to be a good time. But we're going to do some version of this as we show up every day, creating this future self version of ourselves. How fun is that? Lots of fun. Let's go. Okay. So the big thing before we totally dive right in, right? This is where we are facing our current reality. I want to say the big thing I did on my weight loss journey last time was create this awareness of self and come from a space of non-judgment. This is a skill. If you don't have it, you want to start to develop it. And how do you come from a place of non judgment? Creating alter ego is a great way to do that. You can consult your alter ego and be like, hey, other self, what do we think of this? And it really takes that judgment away from it. It's a big reason to have that and to have conversations with your future self. She is so kind and caring and compassionate. You know what they always say, like, how do your friends talk to you, right? So before we dive in this in the first part, I wanted to set the stage. You're talking to your best friend here. You're going to be open and honest. Oh, dude, man, I went and got the Hawaiian sweet rolls and put some like processed ham on that shit. And I ate it. And girlfriend, I was in bed and there were crumbs. So much shame. So much shame, right? But you know what Brene Brown says, you guys, shame can't exist in the company of empathy. And this is why we do it together and why we tell our girlfriends these deep, dark secrets because it doesn't exist anymore. It's just hanging, like I said, with my bestie on Maui. We can talk about anything. And she loves me no matter what. And I know that. And it's a safe space. And we have to create those safe spaces for ourselves. It's crazy when our friends are safer than our own minds. This is the first part where you are at right now. So, this is the honest self assessment from a place of non judgment. This is where we are. We can't know where we're going and what's in between if we don't know where we are starting from. What are the things you do? Did you eat in bed last night too? Do you multitask? Oh, you guys, I'm famous for this one, eating while I work. Like why I can't take a minute. I've been really good about this time away. And it's why I'm down like I'm going to be down like 12 this week, I think. Check it out. Watch for that weigh-in, bitches. It's coming. So busting in the 270s. It's like now I'm seeing the decades. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. That was a squirrel. Squirrel. I need to figure out how to put a little squirrel on the YouTube screen when I do this. Okay. So do you eat in bed? Do you multitask? Do you eat while you're doing computer stuff? Just make a list. Now you can just do this real time with me. If you're listening, you're driving around, just kind of think of some in your head around, oh, yeah, I do that too, Slayer, right? Like bringing any awareness to it. Now, all week, you're going to be noticing, oh, I don't want to eat like that. I just mindlessly ate that. I like to think about the French here. You know how, and this is in my image of how the French eat because I haven't ever been to France. My image of them is they're at these cafes and there's cheese and wine and bread and all the things everywhere. And they're just so enjoying their 3 hour lunch and talking and nibbling and just enjoying life. You know, I think of Eat, Love, Pray when I think about that too when she goes to Italy. You know, she puts on the 10 pounds. You can't see Elizabeth Gilbert's trying to like zip her jeans up. I tried to find that meme the other day on the school app and I just couldn't locate it. So, anyhow, I digress once again. Okay, you guys, first part, where are you right now with your eating? So, don't forget, we're going to get to where you want to go and it's going to be magical and you're going to be like, oh my God, Slayer, why didn't we do this sooner? But for right now, we got to sit in the uncomfortable a little bit. Do you panic after a big weekend? Is it like, oh shit, I ate that cookie. I feel so guilty. Or are you just able to just get back up as fast as possible? Is it no big deal? Did you just want the cookie and that was it? There was no drama around the cookie. What does it look like when you eat and what's your current relationship with food? Are you a really need to have things prepped or you grab ass a bunch of shit in the kitchen or order fast food? Like what is the current state of affairs? Do you eat when you're tired? I was listening to one of my mentors this week from Life Coach School, and someone had asked to get coached around weight loss. And she said, you know, weight loss is really simple. She said, you can go learn a lot of things, she said, around your hormones and sugar and that make weight loss easier, but it's really about the drama you're making about food. She said it's real simple. Make yourself a plan and a plan of what you think you're going to eat and see if you show up for that plan. And if you do and you don't lose weight, you adjust the food. And if you don't show up, then you figure out why you didn't show up and you solve for that. I'm like, you know how much drama we put into that shit, you guys? Oh, I can't plan. I can't show up for a plan. I don't want to eat the things I put on a plan when it can just be really simple, right? Manifesting generators are kind of like rebels too. I consider myself a rebel, so I kind of identify with them in the human design world. But apparently, they don't like to go from A to Z. They like a little bit of a zigzag, which I totally get that. So, Kathy in our group is a manifesting generator, and she's got like some resistance to the food prep at the end of the week. What does it look like? How do you make yourself a protocol or a plan you can be comfortable with? We're getting into the second part. You're starting to get an idea. Watch out for the things you do. My big ones are eating while I'm working. It's getting me through. Like it's psychologically, I think I'm getting energy or something. And then I also eat in bed is total comfort eating bullshit. Right? Like I'm just tired, just put the book up and go to sleep. Grabbing something while I'm out or eating in the car. I went to Whole Foods and I got one of the little truffle things there, which I had put on my plan. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get one of those truffles, right? And ate it in the car while I'm driving. Was that full enjoyment of my truffle? Probably not. Like I could have sat and really enjoyed that truffle and been like, holy fuck, that was the best truffle ever. You know what I mean? Like, how do we want to show up in these moments? Okay, so the second part is creating this identity shift. And this just brings me to Abraham Hicks. And if we create everything in our lives, why would we not decide who we want to be around food, to be intentional with it, to set an intention to put our attention to, you know? Like, I think when I'm at goal, I just naturally adjust my eating. Like if I go out and have a big pasta meal or something, I want to get all that gluten out of my body. I'm just naturally adjusting and adapting to it. This makes me think of my aligned eating client too, that is working on, she's having scale thoughts, a lot of scale thoughts. So we're working through just not even looking at the scale, like no peeking at the scale even. It doesn't matter if it's aligned eating. So let's see what shows up for you when you believe you're eating in alignment and you check that scale once a week so we see what direction it's going and do we need to adjust or not. You can't know the results if you don't measure the results. This is the same with any goal. We make it drama about weight, but not about money. You measure how much money is in your bank account, how much you got left on your mortgage, right? Like a lot of us can desensitize around something like that, but when it comes to our weight, oh my god, why should I have to measure out on the scale? Well, that's why. So you can see if it's working or not. It's just a goal like any other, and then you get the frick back up. Have you guys observed naturally thin people in their habitat? Like out in the wild? This was one of my favorite ways to pick up of things I want my future self to be like. So, have you been at out to dinner with a friend and there's a big basket of fries in the middle of the table or what bunch of munchies and they're just not obsessed with eating all the bread or the chips or the fries. It can just sit there. And they're just enjoying themselves and talking and hanging out and say, "Oh, don't you want some?" "No, I'm not hungry." And there's really no drama around it. You can see. Versus like when I go, I've got this game plan, right? I'm like, you know what? I am going to have a handful of whatever. I'm going to make a small plate and then I'm going to sit and enjoy company. Like I'm very intentional about it, but I'm also working mentally and with my thoughts and my being and physiologically with like doing things like doing the EFT tapping card, right? Like working to become the person that just naturally does sit there and is enjoying herself, you know, without food or drink. So I dated this guy for a while and we lived together and he was one of those naturally skinny people. And I remember coming home before I had any concept of fasting and what fasting was. I remember coming home and we had a big barbecue the day before or something. And I was eating lunch. I'm like, aren't you going to eat something? Are you going to eat today? He was like, no, I'm not hungry. And I'm like, okay. And then he didn't eat dinner. And then he was still like, I'm not hungry." And then he didn't eat till the next day, and I was like, "What is that?" And it wasn't because he was fasting intentionally or forcing himself to, he just wasn't hungry. His body was like, "We're good. We're gonna repair ourselves." I'm like, "What is that?" He also chewed his food really long time, and it annoyed that friggin' life out of me. But it's something to practice, right? Like that chewing 35 times business, like, we're supposed to chew our food and we don't. He was really good at that and was really annoying. It took a long time to eat. Whatever you wanna do with that story, you guys, I'm just gonna leave that there. For me, learning my human design and understanding I'm this generator that really does like habit and rhythm and routine made so much sense to me because look, I uprooted my entire life. I had it like down to a science, you guys, and I loved how I felt. I just really felt like I was this person at that nearly goal weight. I was really happy where I was at. I mean, shit, you guys, I look good at Wonderland, let me just tell you. Like, I'm good. Right? And that's part of the thing is you get lower, but that's another story for another day. What I realized is in our honoring our human design types, using them as a guide, not I am for sure this way or not that way, right? I don't think it's as black and white as that. And in fact, I'm doing a human design coaching program that I just really wanna bring this into my practice, you know? Like, I have my Lumia coaching, I have my Fast Like a Girl coaching, and now I'm learning about human design. It's like along the way on your goal to your highest, healthiest self, like, what things do you pick up? And I was thinking about this as I was reframing my thoughts around my soul smushing job, right? Like, oh my God, it let me do all these things, become a yoga teacher and fast like a girl coach and get my naturopath. It let me do all these things that I'm so friggin' grateful for and how easily it was to shift that and to be called out on that. And I would offer us this, it's the same with our identity. Where might we need a shift and where do we want to go? I want to be like the skinny ass ex that's just like, ah, I'm just not hungry. I just don't need to eat. Right. And I know I can be there because I've had evidence of that. And I think for sure it's easier without flour and sugar in your body. I love fasting as a tool too. Like these are things to put in like who and what does she look like. So make yourself a list of these things. Like, do you want to fast? Are you a faster? Are you curious about it? Are you curious to find out about all the benefits fasting can do for your body and your mind and soul? Or is that not something you're interested in? And that's fine. Do you want to eat all the cakes when you're at goal? Do you think you're sitting around eating cake every day? Every week? What at a party? What does sugar look like in your life? And there's no judgment. It can look like however you want, but avoiding what you want it to look like might suggest that there's something to dig up in there. When I see my future self vision, I open that fridge and it's like everything's just ready to go for me. There's fresh squeezed juices and food made, but I have to tell you, I also love my process of I take a break. And this is part of what was so critical to changing my job. Like, I love my lunch routine. I make this healthy meal and I sit down and I eat it. Now, I'm still watching TV while I eat it. I would like to modify that somewhere along the line where I'm just enjoying it and I'm not needing to do something else to distract myself, at least until I learn my hunger cues better, like get more in touch with them again. I'm not keeping on eating just because I want to keep on watching the show and keep on having a break. I want to like stop when I'm full type business. What does your future self eat like? Give yourself a little time to think about it and really write down what does her fridge look like? What do the cabinets look like? Are there all these sweet options in there and breads and whatever else, right? Like, what does it look like? The third part is planning and observing. Now you have an idea of where you want to go and where you are now. And we start simple, baby steps, right? Baby steps are how you get there. If you do the work to change your vibration of self, to normalize how you're feeling, to change how you're talking to yourself, this can go make weight loss really quick. Like you're going to watch me do here. Like, because I'm doing this work. I mean, I am showing up in some uncomfortable coaching situations and being called out on some of my negative bullshit that I've been hiding behind. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but I want to plow through them. So I'm like, sign me up for the discomfort. Here we go. I'm sure as I work myself through that, I'll share more with you guys. So now we're going to plan and observe. And this is the fun we're going to do with the challenge next week, right? Like something along this side. So you make a plan that reflects her. Maybe Kathy, our manifesting generator, just wants it like, hey, I eat these types of food. I do love a good food protocol where we just make, hey, these are the foods I eat. These are my occasional special occasion foods. Like, and alcohol might be one of those things. Like, I only drink when I'm out social with my friends. I'm not drinking at home while I'm watching a TV show or whatever. Like, you might just start to set a protocol for yourself to move toward your future self. Maybe she fasts 12 to 16 hours. Maybe it's 3 structured meals where she's really sitting down and plating and honoring her food. Maybe she plans cookies because she's not ready to let them go. So she plans them, has them, enjoys them, didn't have the guilt around them. And I think it's really important to notice that. Like when you do allow those things, are you having guilty thoughts about them? Or is this like, oh, this is great? Right? I'm so glad I did this and I'm just going to balance it out somewhere else. If we tell ourselves, oh, this is so great and I'm just going to keep on eating all the things, well, that never gets us to our goal either. So increasing that awareness around those things. Maui, for example, right, ate all the shit, extended my fast while I was there. Right. And then I came home. I didn't OMAD. And except for the bread and the ham in bed, it was pretty drama free. Right. And I'm so going to slay the scale tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm like banking right around 281, you guys. So I'm going to be like in the 270s. I love using the scale kind of like as a game with myself. Like it's also fun to hit a new decade. Don't I got this whole mind thing I do with it. So it can be fun if you allow it to be. Future me doesn't spiral. She just adjusts. It's like my new future self, my alter ego names, the steadfast slayer, the steadfast slayer. I just stay in it. I stay in it until it changes me. Oh, that's good, you guys. Like, how can you sit in the discomfort more and more until you become a different version of yourself? You ever watch yourself when you didn't like, you're not going to have the cookie or the cake that's in the fridge? And what your body is like having a little toddler tantrum, wants to throw you on the floor and like flop you around, right? Like that's the stuff to start noticing. Why do I really want this cookie so bad? Why do I really want this cake? And we were talking about this a bit in the human design call we had in the group. We were talking about sitting with yourself, allowing yourself that time for response. Is this a yes or is this a no? And sometimes my yes that takes over and wants that cake isn't the yes from my gut. It's the yes from my monkey brain that wants all the things and wants to be distracted. So you make this plan for yourself to watch because we're closing this gap, right, between that past self and that future self. And as you're creating this self, make sure it's inclusive of you right now, that it's not just your future self state. We set ourselves up for not only failure, I think we have to fail on our way to goal, but we set ourselves up for a lot of feelings of disappointment and discouragement because we want to go from A to Z like now. And there's a lot of mind work between A and Z, but to know where Z is powerful. And to know that you can take tiny baby steps and get there. Like, what if you just relax the timeline on your weight loss goal, money goal, whatever it is? What if you didn't have to do it in 2 months? What if you were like, you know what? I'm going to take a year to lose 30 pounds or whatever it might be, right? What would that look like? And how could you keep showing up? Some people would find that goal not urgent enough. So it's finding that balance. So just don't set yourself up for so much rigidity that like, plan the friggin' cookie is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you want a plan so you can see where you have to adjust it, or you're flying by the seat of your pants and you don't know. You don't know what's working for you or not. So this is creating a bandwidth, increasing our emotional capacity, right? I was drinking a lot of wine back in the day, like before I started my it was like 2017, 18, right around there. And I knew a big part of my health journey was going to be dealing with the wine wench. She's a little bitch. There's no dopamine hit faster to your brain, you guys, other than heroin and nicotine, right? And then we got alcohol. It's right up there. So I knew she was drinking too heavy. And when I started doing this work, I knew that she didn't. And so I got to the point where I just stopped drinking altogether and watched my mind and experienced situations sober that I had never experienced sober, and really created this whole new relationship with myself and with alcohol. And being like realizing one day I was in Safeway and I was walking in the alcohol aisle and I was like, I didn't even notice I was in the alcohol aisle. That would have never happened. It would have been like, "Oh, I need let's get one of those six-pack things. We save money. We'll be stocked up." And then I'd immediately get the dopamine hit for even thinking about the wine. It was more like, who am I if I don't drink? And what am I afraid to feel or be or do? And I'm still at this point where I'm deciding where alcohol fits in my life now. Like, I drank with my bestie on Maui. We had the best time. I could have also had the best time sober with her because we do, but it's also something we do. I think there's a journey with that and us deciding as we go what that's going to look like for ourselves. So it elevated my capacity to feel emotions in situations where I would have normally been drinking that would have been uncomfortable, right? That to know I could go and be the life of the party sober, or hold space and have capacity for everybody else, and also realize, like, shit, am I like that when I'm drunk? Yes, yes, you are, Ad. Yes, you are. Note to self. Okay, you guys. So the fifth part of what we're doing here, remember we defined our past self, our future selves. Now we're going to plan and test it and increase that capacity. Like, let's get this vision going. So we're going to if you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you're at home or you're sitting down somewhere where you can do this with us, just close your eyes and really settle in. Take some deep breaths as I'm talking here. If you're driving, just allow yourself to listen and be open. Sometimes you'll get a response in your body. Yeah, that. Sometimes you'll hear a thought or a word. Close your eyes and you're just waking up and you're setting your food up for the day, and you can see yourself walking through the day, and you're just calm and peaceful and you feel so connected to who you are. You wake up and your first thoughts aren't even about food. What are your first thoughts about? And what do your meals look like through the day? Notice when you have your first meal. Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner? Did you fast, or did you eat first thing when you woke up? And what did it look like? Did you put your food on a plate? Did you stop when you were full? Do you snack throughout the day? Do you eat when other people eat, or are you eating alone? Do you notice if you eat when others are eating and you're not hungry? Or are you choosing to only eat when you're hungry? What does time and food look like? Do you walk past the wine aisle or do you stop? No judgment here, you guys. What does it look like? This is your future self. Maybe she enjoys a couple of glasses on the weekend or something. Maybe she gets some cookies and has one. And maybe she just doesn't think about food as much anymore. What types of things does she eat? Do you see more greens, more vegetables, fruits, yogurts? How does she eat? And how does she balance it? Notice how she feels in her body. Just feels so good. This version of you exists. Whatever one you are envisioning, and we don't build her through shame. We build her through awareness of ourselves, our current selves, and our thoughts, and being our best positive best friends and encouraging ourselves to that next version of ourselves. So powerful. This is the work. This is the shift going from our past self to our future self. Oh, sorry. If your eyes are closed, wake your eyes up. Okay, you guys, let's anchor this episode with a tapping round with the card I drew. I eat with gratitude and intention. Okay. I'll call out the spots to tap the first round and then just follow along with me visually. If you're in the car, you could just tap the side of your eye or above your eyebrow. You could just tap that. Sometimes I'll do the side of my hand or my collarbone. That can feel too good too. Just be safe wherever you are, okay? Don't come sue me because you were tapping in your car, okay? The disclaimers have been said. All right, you guys. So here we go. It says, even though I sometimes forget, so you're going to repeat after me, okay? Out loud. Even though I sometimes forget, I choose to be present as I eat. Even though I sometimes forget, I choose to be present as I eat. Eyebrow, today I slow down. Side of eye and come back to the present moment. Under eye, I choose to eat mindfully. Under your nose, mealtime is my sanctuary for self-care. Under mouth, I find more joy in the experience. Collarbone, it feels good to nurture my body. Underarm, every meal is an act of self-love. Top of head, I eat with gratitude and intention. Let's do another round. Today I slow down and come back to the present moment. I choose to eat mindfully. Mealtime is my sanctuary for self-care. I find more joy in the experience. It feels good to nurture my body. Every meal is an act of self-love. I eat with intention. I eat with gratitude and intention. All right, one more time. Today I slow down and come back to the present moment. I choose to eat mindfully. Mealtime is my sanctuary for self-care. I find more joy in the experience. It feels good to nurture my body. Every meal is an act of self-love. I eat with gratitude and intention. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I feel good. When you're tapping all these meridian points, you guys, it's connected to your organs, to different energy centers throughout your body. You can almost feel this sigh in your body when it just hits that level of comfort. So you keep going until you hit the comfort level. We can do more on tapping later or another time if you guys haven't gotten into it at all. I just did about 30 minutes of tapping this morning from my life coach session with my coach that called me out on all my negative bullshit. Oh my God, it was heavy, you guys. I had to tap the shit out of myself so I could come podcast with you guys. I was supposed to do this yesterday. I just couldn't. Like sometimes it's hard to hear what you need to hear. It's absolutely the shift I need to make to get to this next version of myself. Back to watching my thoughts and coming from love and not anger and frustration and all of that. Midlife badassery, it's about becoming the person who doesn't lose herself around food. I'm calling this the F.U.E.L method. This future self eating like a badass. You face reality, like my little bread in bed story. You understand the identity. Who do you want to become? You execute and observe. You lock this vision in, you tap it out, you start to use some tools to normalize your body through things like having a tantrum when it's not getting the chocolate cake, like wanting to throw itself on the floor. Even though I really want that chocolate cake, I completely and deeply love and accept myself, right? And I could like do a whole tapping process through that. Until next week, witches and bitches, Slayer out.